I'm Dangerously Incompetent, and this is a World of Tanks Tactics video. In this episode, fighting the crest with gun depression. I'm driving the Somua S35, French Tier 3 medium tank. We're on Himmelsdorf, it's a Tier 3 battle. Now fighting the crest, when you've got gun depression, you want to pull up so that you can just see over the crest in sniper view. That means you're exposing the minimum possible of your tank. Generally speaking, maybe the upper hull and the turret. Now turrets are generally heavily armoured, more heavily armoured than the hull, and there's also mostly, the front of them is mostly covered by the gun mantlet, which usually ends up giving you spaced armour as well as the armour on your turret. Now if we go to third person view, you can see that with me pointing up the hill, it's tipped my hull armour, the front of my hull and turret armour, backwards. So it's at more of an angle at anybody shooting at me. Now the greater the angle you tip the tank backwards like this, the thicker your effective armour is, because the shot's not coming through perpendicular to the armour, it's coming through at an angle, and it has to travel through more of it before it penetrates. So if we watch what happens, you'll see that T-18 and then a Panzer 1C on our side, they rush onto the hill. Now I've got shots there against that M3 Stuart who's on the other side of the crest. Now the Stuart's got 10 degrees of gun depression, so he can fire at me from there, but he doesn't. He cheeses it. But many tanks don't have that much gun depression. So you often find that if you're in this position and they're in the opposite, on the other side of the crest, with their tank angled up, they can't get their gun down to bear on you, so therefore they can't shoot you. So that's one benefit of fighting the crest. Now the Panzer 1C and T-18 have made a mistake here. We all started on the hill. There's only 3 from our side who've come up to the hill. Me, I've stayed at the crest. They've gone onto the flat top. But it's very common for a lot of people to come up here, especially when you're starting on the slope of the hill already. And in fact the enemy, you can already see they've got 4 people up here, so we're outnumbered already, and more come up. That T-18, he just gets butchered by the Panzer 1C who rushed into position. Other Panzer 1C goes to duke it out with the Panzer 1C, but he loses because he also gets shot by guys who've come round, more guys who are coming round the chateau. Now I want to take it back a bit. I've gone too far. Because now I want to show you the benefits. Slow it down a bit. There's a T-18. There's my shot. There's another shot there. Do you see that ricochet? That bounced straight off me. Okay, they're mostly small guns over there. It might have bounced anyway, but it certainly didn't hurt that my armour's tipped further back, decreasing the shell's angle of attack on me, so it increases the chances of ricochets and bounces. I'm shooting again. At this point I'm thinking maybe I can go help this Panzer 1C, because most of them have gone back behind the chateau, but it's too late for the Panzer 1C, he's dead. And for thinking about coming to have a look at him, I get a hit. Should have stayed down. Take another shot. There's another miss. So you can see I just shot that Valentine anti-tank and he hasn't managed to shoot me back yet. So now there's another miss. And you can see me moving back down the crest so they can't see me at all when I'm reloading. Now if we just stop it there and go and have a look. Now that was my shot. So you can see this Stuart, or was it his shot? His shot. Let's get to his turret. There. All he can see of me is my tiny turret. And on most tanks, the front of the turret is the most heavily armoured part of the tank. Plus you've got the gun mantlet. So it's ricochet and non-penetration territory for him. Whereas if you take a look from my angle, here we are. Let the smoke clear. You can see him nicely silhouetted. I can see the whole of his side, I can see his tracks. So much easier for me to penetrate him than it is for him to penetrate me, and for me to hit him than it is for him to hit me. So that's the advantage of contesting the crest like this. You're hiding most of your tank, you're only exposing the most heavily armoured bits of it, and you're sloping it back to make that armour even more effective. And you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 enemy tanks up here. And I've been holding them up for a minute, and they just miss after miss after miss. I could not have survived this long if I had been in plain view of them and they could see all of my tanks. There's a big hit. That was from the AT1, I believe. More misses. And then the final hit, probably from that AT1 again. So, if only the T-18 and the Panzer 1C hadn't been so keen to rush onto the top of this hill and had stayed down with me, we might have held them up a bit more longer than 1.5 minutes. As for the rest of the match, it was a loss. With this bunch all together, they just rushed down the hill and then came into the flank and rear of the rest of our tanks.